clearly knew how to fight and was definitely the aggressor, and the other woman was just taking it and she was yelling for help, she was crying, she was screaming. And so I ran down the stairs, I ran across the street to try to break up this fight. And meanwhile, all of my neighbors, about 15 of my neighbors I gathered, they were just watching this whole thing go down. All of my neighbors, they were being non-violent, right? They weren't the aggressors, they weren't perpetuating the violence. But they also weren't taking a stand against the violence that was going on in front of their very eyes. Right? They were just allowing things to happen. When King talked about nonviolence, that's not what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about not resisting injustice. He was talking about non-violently resisting injustice and violence. Right? So when we talk about nonviolence, it's not about what we don't do, it's about what we are going to do to take a stand against violence and against injustice. We're living in really interesting times. I'm very young, I'm 31 years old, but I've been involved in this work long enough to know that this moment in history is an incredible moment. And I talk to a lot of my elders that'll say the same thing, right? It's an incredible moment, and social change movements are nothing new, right? Occupy didn't invent social change, it didn't invent organizing. People have been doing this work long before this movement came around. And people are going to be doing this work long after this movement is over. But what the movement presents us right now is an opportunity, and it's a moment. There's a guy by the name of Marcus Raskin that once said that the opportunity for revolutionary change happens in the blink of an eye. And if you miss that moment, then it's gone forever.